Well, you may have guessed it, but it is reset season. We just finished Lilac Woods, and I'm so excited to be embarking on a new island adventure. I did have to reset a couple of times just to get villagers. These two were not so bad, but I really dislike the sheep villagers. I only had to reset 3 times though, which was really not so bad at all. I ended up going with this map in the lower left-hand corner where resident services is kind of far away from the airport. I've never chosen that map before, so I was kind of excited to try it out. But we ended up with Bill and Agnes, who I think are two cuties. We have a yellow airport, and pears are our native fruit. So I'm pretty excited about this island. I ended up naming it Foxtail, which, if you're a longtime watcher of this channel, you may remember I've actually used that name before, but we never finished that island, and I really wanted to. So I wasted no time here trying to pay off my loan on the first day. I went ahead and cleared out all of the weeds on the main kind of like accessible part of the island, and then I edited my passport photo and comment and title. And then I also went and updated the bulletin board as well. These are 3 things that I tend to do on every one of my brand new islands because it's a good way to get Nook miles pretty quickly. There's achievements for all of them. So I just kind of went through some of my staples, messy lawn clippings. I don't know what that was, but you can see you do get a few miles for doing that. And I'm already almost at 2,000. So another good way to do it is to edit one of your design patterns. I usually just give myself a new shirt because the one that you spawn in with is a little questionable. So I just give myself like a little black tank top to wear, just fill it in, nothing too crazy. I end up deleting it later when I go to fill in like actual custom codes that I want to use. So this will just get me a few Nook Mile achievements for the time being. I'm gonna go ahead and erase that. So that was pretty much what my plan was for the first day on the island. I wanted to be able to place Blather's tent because that's pretty easy to do. You just have to catch 5 bugs or 5 fish. And then here I am just writing on the bulletin board and collecting some Nook miles for that. I'm already over halfway at this point, so it's pretty easy. If you get stuck paying off your initial miles, those are some easy things that you can do to help you do that a little quicker. And then I go ahead and place Blather's tent just kind of like off to the side in a already empty location. And then I spent the rest of day 1 just fishing. Look at Bill, he is so cute. Then I went ahead and time traveled to day 2. On this day, I ended up getting a gift from one of my villagers, which was a good shovel. And if you dig the 2 holes behind yourself, you can actually get all of the rocks, so like all 9 of them. So it's a little tip for you as you are trying to get your shop items unlocked. But I went ahead and placed the shop over to the side. I'm skipping over a lot of the grinding that I did during this time just because I know you guys have seen probably a million starter videos at this point. So I did want to take a second to actually decorate my character house. I was doing so much grinding and just like, I don't know, it just kind of got a little bit boring and I wanted to take a little decorating break. I am playing on a modded console, so I was able to spawn in quite a few little items that I wanted. None of the things that I post on my channel are actually modded though, so anything that you see here, it's not like a fancy new item. I'm just playing on a modded console that allows me to spawn in different items and bells and things like that. It makes it so much nicer to make content for you guys. Then I went ahead and time traveled to day 3 and I saw that Leaf was visiting, so I immediately knew that I wanted to get some bushes and flowers and probably some farm crops from him. So that's what I did, and then I went ahead and just planted them over by Agnes's house. I'm not really trying to make the island pretty at this point. I'm really just trying to unlock 3 stars. I did go ahead and plant the 3 pieces of fruit that you get as a gift from one of your villagers, and you can see those trees are growing in behind this area. I know I'm going to end up deleting all of this when it comes time to do the island entrance, so I'm really not thinking at all about making the island aesthetic at this point. I'm literally just trying to grind to unlock 3 stars. I did spend a little bit of time researching online how to get 3 stars on your Animal Crossing island, and there's so much misinformation on how to do this. There's so many people saying that you have to make your island beautiful and that you have to try to decorate in some fancy way, and you absolutely don't. Every time that I've gotten to 3 stars, it's just been by piling up items in this totally ugly way, and you just have to meet a certain requirement. It doesn't really matter if your island is pretty or not. But then I went ahead and put the 3 housing plots down, and I skipped over the actual like DIY making the items, all that kind of stuff. As a reward, Tom will give you the 50 fence pieces. I don't end up placing them just yet. I was actually kind of wanting to test out whether or not you can get to 3 stars without putting the fencing down. And at one point I cut it out, but at one point Isabel actually asks for you to place fencing. So I'm pretty sure it is an actual requirement. But then I went into Nook's Cranny and I just bought them out of everything because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of items just scattered around the island, because that is going to be one of the requirements to unlocking 3 stars. And then I hopped up here because one of the villagers moved on to the island. I don't know what I'm doing there, but one of our villagers moved on, and so I wanted to come and say hello to her. This is Apple. She is so cute. We honestly got so unlucky on Foxtail with who our kind of starter villagers were. There's so many absolutely heinous villagers that moved onto the island. I'm trying really hard to love them anyway, though, and not be judgmental. All of the villagers deserve love, even the ugly villagers. So yeah, it's been bad. I ended up with 2 ducks. We've got Bill and Derwin. And then I just time traveled to day 5. And then I'm placing a lot of the items that like villagers gave me and that I got from Nook's Cranny. And as you can see, I'm not trying to make that aesthetic. I'm just literally dumping them in a pile. And then Sandy moved on, who is yet another villager that I don't love, but I'm trying to love. She's got to have some redeeming qualities. Then I time traveled again to day 6, and Mabel was on the island, so I bought her out of everything that she was selling. That's one of the ways that you can get her to move on to your island as quick as possible, is to buy absolutely everything that she sells you. You have to spend a certain amount of bells for her to move on, and I found that if you buy everything and you do that twice, it will trigger her moving on the next day. I time traveled again to day 7, and lo and behold, she was back again, so I went ahead and bought her out of absolutely everything a second time, and then took a little bit of a break here to hang out with Derwin and Agnes, who were actually being so cute. Time traveled again to day 8, and Allie had moved on to the island, yet another villager that I am going to struggle to love, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And I went ahead and placed the last few plots that I needed to. At this point, we had a 2-star rating, and this is like, what, day 8? So we weren't doing so bad. This was where she asked for the fencing, so I went ahead and actually did a little bit of decorating. Not anything super serious, but I decided to just like, I don't know, surround Nook's Cranny. Nook's Cranny? Surround resident services with some fencing and Nook Mile items. One of the criterias for 3 stars is that you have a combination of Nook Mile items, DIYs, and Nook shopping items. So I'm trying to use a few more Nook Mile items at this point to just kind of, I don't know, meet that requirement. And then I went ahead and traveled to a few Nook Mile islands, and I saw so many absolutely heinous villagers. I got so sick of doing this. I ended up taking Roswell just because he was honestly like the lesser of the evils, but you will see. I went ahead and time traveled to day 9. Roswell moved on to the island. He looks like he lives in an alleyway in a city, and I don't know what to make of it, but yeah, I don't know. So I went ahead and went on a little Nook Mile ticket spree, and I saw Diva, or wait, no, that's Jambet, and it was immediate no. And then I saw this guy, and it was like a jump scare, and it was immediate no. Then I saw that frog, again, a no. We had Zucker, and then we had that scary looking mouse, and I was just ready to scream at that point. So I time traveled to day 10, and these are the villagers that we kind of ended up with. And I think I just had one more villager to move on at that point. So I went ahead, flew to a few more islands, and as you can see, didn't even greet the villagers. I was ready to bang my head against a wall at that point. So I did go ahead and put a few more hybrid flowers down on the island to try to unlock 3 stars. So I end up placing 10 of the blue windflower plants. Again, not trying to make this aesthetic. not even planning out the future of this island, just trying to get 3 stars. And then I finally went and asked her. Mind you, the island is hideous right now. But look at that. We have a 3-star island. Can you believe it? And these are all of the things that are actually on my island that I use to unlock 3 stars in case you want to do it on yours. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you very soon in the next one. Bye.